heard an interview with Emily where she called Martin the Scottish Justin Bieber. Do you have any like?
I'd actually say the King of Scotland. Yeah.
Bigger
the
than
national
Bieber.
treasure.
I think it's because of like the amount of fans that he's got up there.
Yeah,
Did you witness any of that like crazy hysteria fans?
When we first got there, they were saying did you see the front page news? They were saying, Compton for Bond. When we first started, in the first couple of weeks. So yeah, he's got a huge amount of fans up there. You can't go anywhere. It's like,
I know. We did, it got a bit, but I think also because of Line of Duty and because of Game of Thrones, that when we went out for a little cast, it did get a bit mad. So,
they got to go around the table like, oh, I know you.
And what was it like for you, obviously having to work with, AC12 and some bent coppers on the show?
Some bent coppers. I know. Lucky they didn't get one of them, innit? No, it was amazing. It's incredible. It's so nice to be back. It's like being with old friends. I mean, they are all old friends. So it's lovely, and we all kind of know of each other as well within the 11 cast. So it was incredible. It's such a supportive environment. You can kind of really go there from day one, which was just amazing, and it's not always the same on every job, so it's lovely.
Was there lots of Line of Duty talk on set that you had to be kind of versed in?
Well, it was funny. We all
pretended to have watched each other's
Love Shakes Creek.
Like from the beginning, when I first met Ian, we had this Zoom together with the casting director and the producers on the Zoom, and he came on and he was like, "Oh, I'm such a fan of you," and I'm like, you, and then halfway through, there was lots of things that were being said that seemed like he didn't know anything about Schitt's Creek, and I was trying to remember the names of dragons and stuff. And at one point, he's like, "What's your favorite episode of Schitt's Creek?" And I'll tell you mine. And I was like, I've never seen Game of Thrones either.
My final question is just for you, just about Line of Duty 6. Is there anything you can tell us? Your character's obviously in witness protection. If you had any calls?
Well, I think it's up in the air as to whether or not they're going to go again.
But more than she's
I think you know more than me. Can we give Jen a call, please?
Well, I heard they wanted to do a movie, but I haven't heard anything about that.
Oh, a movie, right? Okay, you'll have to tap Martin about that and see what he says.
That's something you'd be up for?
Oh, 100%, all day long. Yeah.
I want to say I've been blown away by what they've done. I find it very, very difficult to tell what's real and what's not real.
Yeah, definitely.
But we all certainly had that wonderful claustrophobic feeling of a group always going. It's quite tight quarters inside the rig itself. And we all definitely got conjured that kind of group sensation, didn't it?
Definitely. And at the beginning, it was kind of still semi-COVID, so all of the kind of restaurants and bars of Edinburgh weren't open. So that claustrophobic feeling definitely passed over into our real lives as well. So we could take that through to the art, to the drama.
Power outage across the accommodation block.
Could it have been seismic?
Well, we keep punching holes in the earth. Eventually, it's going to punch back.
Did you have any oil rig workers advising you or anything like that?
We did, yeah. And there was I play this offshore installation manager, Magnus Macmillan, and we had somebody there who was recently retired, a guy called Derek Anderson, and he was fantastic. Honestly, he kept a beady eye on me throughout the whole thing, and I got him to read the scripts, all the scenes. I got him to sort of look at all the main things that I was involved in, particularly within the control room, which was the most scary kind of territory, because you were just surrounded by this array of flashing lights and buttons and stuff, and it's the control room for the whole rig. And so I really wanted to know what I was doing, or looked like I knew what I was doing. So he was there on hand the whole time, and he was incredibly supportive and helpful.
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, I play a medic.
Yeah.
So we always have a medic on set for the actors, but I was kind of questioning her all the time. I was like, please, tell me all about your life, please. I need to know. And she was like, well, if you're sure, she felt Pam, her name is, and she felt like a lot of the time when you see on television, medical stuff just isn't done properly. So me and John kind of had a word with her and said, as much as we can, dramatically, to make sense, we'll work with you.
I know some of you have been waiting for your ride home, but you're going to have to wait a while longer. How long, Magnus?
Until there's a ride available, we all have work to do.
Oh my God.
Was there a certain scene that stuck out in your mind as particularly memorable to film? Like, have you got any big action scenes or anything like that that stuck out in your mind?
Yeah, there were so many, but one where it went disastrously wrong was on a sort of crane arm that was quite high off the ground, and I was very nonchalant, stunty, as I said. I don't need a harness, there's padding there down there somewhere, so I'll be fine. I'm not going to fall off. And they just kept, Ian, listen, health and safety, you gotta wear it. So I'm not gonna. Eventually they sort of forced me into it. And the first take, really, and I ran out to help Martin, who was in some sort of distress in the scene. I managed to topple off it and left dangling at quite a height from this, which they've got something that was a kind of collective gasp from the crew that were watching it, because if I hadn't been wearing it, honestly, that could have been me, with a broken limb or two. So I learned my lesson.